In this video, I want to cover the idea of order of operations. So a quick review, in one of the previous videos, we had talked about there being 4 operations. Addition, which is linked closely with subtraction, and that they are opposites of one another. You can think of subtraction as the addition of a negative. And we talked about multiplication as repeated addition. And then we talked about division being its opposite because it is repeated subtraction. Then finally, we threw in exponents as a shorthand way of having repeated multiplication. Now, given all of these operations, we need to understand why we need to have an order. If I wrote 2 plus 3 times 5, there's some debate. If we didn't have order of operations, one person might simply read from left to right. Turns out this is wrong, so let me write that this is wrong. If you started from the left and went to the right, you would first add 2 plus 3 and get 5, and then you would multiply times the 5 and you would get 25. If you studied order of operations, you would realize that we actually give precedence to multiplication and division over addition. So the true answer to this will be the right way to do this problem, is to not do the addition first, but to do the multiplication first and say that this is equal to 2 plus 3 times 5, which is 15. And now we can do the addition and get 17. Well, why is one way right and the other way wrong? The answer is that somebody decided that those are the rules of the game. For instance, in some countries you drive on the left-hand side of the road, and in other countries you drive on the right-hand side of the road. And as long as we agree to the rules of the game, there won't be any accidents. So we're trying to prevent a math accident. We clearly can't have 2 different answers here. We can't have the answer to this problem being 25 while also being 17. 2 plus 3 times 5 has to be one or the other. So mathematicians have decided that we will make 2 plus 3 times 5 equal to 17 because we will give precedence to multiplication over division. So we do need to be able to give instructions, though. What if, let me clear this out. Let me start over with writing 2 plus 3 times 5. What if we really did want to add the 2 to the 3 before multiplying by 5? Well, most of you probably know that there's a quick and easy way to handle that. We could put parentheses around the 2 plus 3. And that tells us that what is in parentheses should happen first. So we will take the 2 plus the 3, and we will say that that is equal to 5, and then we will multiply by 5, whether we're doing this in our head or writing it down, and say that the answer is 25. So 25 would be correct if we throw parentheses around the 2 plus the 3. So we have an order of operations that we work with. Sometimes you may have seen it written out as PEM DOS. And I'm going to link some things together here. I'm going to link those 2 together and those together. So what do each of these letters stand for? The P stands for parentheses. So no matter what, you do what is in parentheses first. What is the E? The E stands for exponents. So if there's an exponent involved in the problem, you would work with the repeated addition that repeated multiplication that it represents before doing any of the other operations. Now I link the next 2 together because this is multiplication and the D is for division. It's a little bit misleading to put them in the order M then D, because we actually do both at the same time. I should say, we can do them in either order. There's no preference to whether you perform the multiplication first or the division first. And then the same thing is true for the last two. The A is for addition, and the S is for subtraction. Clearly, if I have something like 5 plus 2 minus 3, if I do the addition first, I would get 7 minus 3, which will equal 4. If I do the subtraction first, I would get 5 plus negative 1, which would also equal 4. So it does not matter whether we do the addition first or the subtraction first, and it doesn't matter whether we do multiplication first or division first, but we always do parentheses and exponents prior to doing multiplication or division or addition or subtraction.